Computer. All right, you guys, I'm so excited. I know that you guys are excited too. We've been fired up for this. So my name is Jackie. I'm presidential with It Works, and tonight we have on Amber, and I'm so excited. If you guys are on our team, you know that Amber was at our retreat. If you were there, you know that Amber was there, and if you weren't there, you know that Amber was there. It was super fun, and you guys, she taught our team so much. I'm just so excited for you guys to hear from her, so I'm not even going to talk. Amber, if you can unmute yourself, that would be so awesome. Hey. We are so excited to hear from you tonight. I know that a lot of people are just like, a lot of people that you touched last weekend have sent it to their teams like, you got to be on here. So, you know, if we could just get right into it, Amber, if you could just share your story a little bit about just, you know, how you got to this point, and then we've got some questions for you.
Sure, let's do it. So you guys, welcome. If you guys can, I want to see your face. I always love connecting. And I always do better when I can actually see the faces and I can like feel you and look into your soul. So don't stare too hard into my eyeballs because I will see straight through you, which is awesome and exciting. But my name is Amber Parker. I am an Ambassador Diamond. I went Ambassador in 2.5 years with 0 sales experience. I was a stylist before this. But you guys, I started actually August 15th. So coming up will be 7 years ago. 7 years ago. It's crazy. It goes by quick and in a hurry. And if you're not careful, the time will go by and you'll be in the same position you were 7 years ago. Or you can be completely transforming your life over the next 7 years. So in August, I got started. You guys, I fell in love with our body wrap. It was a flagship product. Nobody has it to this day. And I fell in love. Oh my gosh, there's so many faces I can see. I remember from the retreat. This is so fun. But I fell in love with that stinking body wrap. It worked in 45 minutes. I left crying and thinking, I just don't want to do a company. Like, I live in Utah. We were like one of the biggest network marketing places in the US. And there's so many companies. I was just like, gosh dang it. I don't want to do a company. I just don't, not my thing, not into sales. I want to do hair the rest of my life. And I started talking to people about this stinking body wrap and everyone wanted it. And so I fell in love. I went home. I said, babe, it's $99. And he was like, well, we don't have it. We don't have it, you guys. My son is 8, and just days before he was born, our lights were shut off. While we were in the hospital, while we delivered him, our lights were shut off. And that is all Josh wanted for his birthday, was to have a son, which his is April 16th, or Cannon's is April 15th. And he wanted a son and a healthy wife and lights on in our home. That's all he wanted for his birthday. And so think about that. That was 7 years ago, almost my son's entire life. That's all he's known as this business. And so Josh said, we didn't have $99. And I said, I'll do a couple hair appointments. I'll get it. Just, there's something about this that I think I just want to sell these body wraps. And the confidence it gave me post baby, the way that I could see people literally see hope when they tried this product. And so I dove right in. I said, I just want to do parties. I want to do face-to-face. Social media wasn't a thing back then. I was doing wrap parties with a camera, like an actual legit camera, with an SD card. That's like how I ran my business when I first started. And I would go from party to party to party to party. No inventory, you guys. All I had was body wraps, which I used my wrap rewards. So I made mad cash, okay? It was very rare that I ever paid full price for body wraps, and I would just sling body wraps. And my very first distributor was a complete stranger from a party. And it just opened up this door that nobody else was using. And so I ended up telling Josh, like, hey, I think that this is something. I just want to sling body wraps. I don't want to do a business. I don't know how to build a team. I don't want to do network marketing. And he worked corporate side for network marketing at the time. And so I saw how he was treated and I was like, no, thanks. Not my jam. And he said, babe, I think this is different. I think this is a place you can call home. I think that the compensation plan is unreal. And I was like, cool, I'm not green. I don't care. Just show me the money. I need the money. Give me all the wraps, wrap all the bellies. Like, I didn't even care. And so I went Ruby in 45 days, from person to person, from wrap to wrap. And it was using a different avenue that not everyone else was using. And so I saw this window, you guys, and I just jumped right in. And I skipped Emerald and went Diamond on November 15th because I thought it was to the date that I signed up. So I had everything run at the beginning of the month. And since then, I've always run my business that way, is that the promotions are done on the 15th, not the 30th. And so I I went to conference that January as a diamond, and my downline actually bought my plane ticket because at that point we were still so far behind on bills. I couldn't even afford a plane ticket to go to conference. And one of my dearest friends who's still in the business, she said, Amber, I'm going to pay for a plane ticket. If your team's going, you can't afford not to go. And I was like, have fun. I just can't pull it. And she said, pay it forward. You commit, I'll cover your plane ticket and you pay it forward. And I was like, I can do that, you guys. Like, I know how to give and I know how to take. Okay. And I know the difference between taking an opportunity when someone wants to give to you. And so, which is crazy because I went to conference. You guys, by the time I went to conference, I was able to buy someone else's plane ticket. Isn't that crazy how I committed before I saw the fire? And by that point, I was able to take someone else to conference, which was really cool. So I went to conference very next month. I went double diamond 1 month. I also was competing in a bikini fitness competition at that time. So I was slammed. And crazy. If anyone's ever done or been around people who do that, you're psycho during that time because you have no nutrients. And then the very next month I went triple, and I was triple for 8 months. Or I'm sorry, triple for almost a year. I went triple in 8 months, and I got stuck at that rank. For me, it was, I don't deserve any more. I don't know how I could ever have any more. And so I reached that ceiling, that point. And then I broke through that. And then I went presidential a year later, and I went presidential for a year, stuck again. I was like, okay, cool. I thought I went through this already. And so no matter what level you're at, you're going to hit that point, but let's work through it faster. And so then I was pres for a year and ambassador in 2.5 years was all it took for us to go ambassador. And you guys, I really never, ever, ever thought in a million years that little old me from Spanish Fork, Utah, grew up in Flint, Michigan, would ever be in the Millionaires Club, ambassador diamond, and field liaison over the company now. So that's our story. We've been able to homeschool our kids in an entrepreneurial program, which gives us the freedom to travel way more than what they could in school. And me and Josh do this business full time together every single day. So that's my story.
That's so good. Hey guys, if you have questions during this, feel free to throw them on the chat and we'll go back. And I just kind of am writing notes as we go. So something that you just said that I loved was you committed before you saw the fire. Oh, yeah. And I think that, that resonates so true to our business, especially if you're brand new, because often you're like walking forward in this faith that you don't even know what is possible if you commit yourself to this business. And so that's why people quit. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's easy to quit on yourself because you don't know the possibilities of what this business can actually bring to you. So can you just speak a little bit about that to a new distributor? Like if you're or not even new, like if you're someone that hasn't seen results in this business yet, can you talk a little bit about just working before you see the fire?
Yeah. I mean, I remember, you guys, it was so crazy. When I started, I was doing hair 60 hours a week with 2 babies running around at my feet. Okay. In my home, I have a salon, and I was so freaking slammed. I literally had no time to do anything else. But I knew I couldn't stay where I was. That is called the rat race, and that is called exhaustion, and that is called burnout, and that is called depression. Okay. And I knew what that felt like. I wanted to see what something else felt like. And so when I got started, Josh was working full time. I was working full time. We had 2 babies, and still we had no money. Like, it was insane. And I remember I would take my car, because it was the more beat up one, and I would switch Josh's because his was the nicer one. Both were about to break down. And I would switch cars with the kids in my car. He would get out of work, take the kids in the car, and I would take the other car, and I would go to wrap parties from 6 p.m. till midnight, 6 days a week. And I knew that if I did that for 6 days a week for just 3 months, I would have this legacy of freedom. And now, did I really know that? No. I had no proof that if I calculated these hours and I put this many miles on my car and I wrapped this many peoples and I would drive 5 hours one night for a 45-minute wrap appointment to turn around and come back home for 5 hours. Did I have any proof that would pay off? No, ma'am. Sure didn't. Okay. But I was willing to do anything besides stay where I was. Like, just short of selling my soul to the devil. Okay. Like, I was willing to do anything. right? So we did that for a little while, and I was doing up to 12 parties in a week. And it was referral to referral, which was new market, which was new market, which wasn't my friends and family, which I didn't want my friends and family in this business. And so I did that over and over and over and over again. And I remember getting my first Ruby paycheck, and it was like $300 and something. And I remember making that phone call, not to the person who signed me up, because she like quit basically. She was like, I don't do the business. I was like, me neither. So we're good, kind of a deal. And so I called this girl, Jillian, above me, and I said, listen, I'm done at Ruby. This phone call happened, you guys. I said, I'm done. I just don't think it's for me. I'm putting in too many hours. I'm not seeing the payout. I worked 45 days for $300. That's not do the dollar per hour. And I was making pennies. And she was like, Amber, do it again. And I was like, you want me to do that again? For what? Another $300? But my brain was programmed to employee mindset. My brain was programmed to 9-to-5 mindset. My salary, right? Like clock in, clock out, get paid, clock in, clock out, get paid. You don't clock in, you don't clock out, you don't get paid. Like that's how we're programmed. We're not programmed naturally for residual income. And I remember doing these parties and I was like, fine. She was like, Amber, there's a $10,000 bonus on the line. If you do this again, I promise you can go diamond. And I was like, I'm glad you believe in me. I'm burnt out. As a Ruby, I was like, I'm tapped out. I can't. And it wasn't that I was tapped out with the business, you guys. When you really look at it, whenever you want to quit, it actually has nothing to do with the business, and it has everything to do with your discipline and your mindset and your money and your financial problems and your husband and your kids and in every other area, in your health and your wellness and your fat or your skinny. Like that's what it really comes down to. If we're going to be super transparent. Okay, it usually has nothing to do with the business. And I've been there. That's the only reason why I can say it. Okay. But we want to be like, it's the business's fault. No, it's not, bro. Like, no, it's not. Get it together. Really go to the root of the problem. And chances are it's more than likely something that you're not doing in your discipline. Okay. So I pushed really hard, you guys, and I went in diamond. And still I was like, cool. I was like, okay, but that more than doubled. So what if I can make $2,000? If I went from 300 to like 300 again, $500 plus all my fast starts, plus you guys, I only focused on recruiting. I didn't even get my first 4 customers in my first 30 days. But what if I would have quit? Because I didn't get my 4 customers. I didn't even know what that was. But all I did was just like, this business is going to change my life. It's going to change yours too. You got to jump in with me. I don't know what we're doing. I was literally like, I don't know what this business is, but do you trust me? You're a complete stranger. Please trust me. I don't know who you are. Trust me. And then it literally was like, crap, I got to trust myself. Like, shoot, I don't even know what I'm into. So even as a diamond, I was like, okay, cool. But now I paid my mortgage. So if I can pay my mortgage and if I can make $1,000, then the wheels started turning of like, can I make 2,000? Can I make 3,000? If I can make 3,000, can I make 6,000? Like, okay, this is the compound effect. This is compounding. And I remember hitting triple diamond. And I was triple diamond at between Prez and ambassador pay. Okay. Let's just talk about that. And I remember getting that paycheck. And I was like, that is the back paycheck for the last 8 months of work I've done. I didn't see that paycheck when I was a Ruby and I wanted to quit. I didn't see that paycheck when I was a diamond and was like, cool, I'm still broke at $1,500 a month. Okay. And so you have to provide the wood before you will ever see the fire. And so often we want to see that fire and be like, oh, I'll add some wood. Let me take a part of that. Right? Like we are so quick to be like, where's the prize? I'll go get it. And then I'll do the work. No, guys, it doesn't work like that. Nothing great in life does that, okay? That's like saying, I'm going to actually enjoy marriage and then hope that my lack of efforts sustains it for 50 years. No. Do I know that the reward and the work that I put in today to make sure my marriage is on point, to make sure that my kids know they love me today, it will reap benefit later. But if we don't do the work today, we will never see the fire later. That is how it works. And so again, although you may not see the work that we do today, We get paid on it over and over and over again. And remember that first party that I did? 18 people showed up. 18 people, half of which I had no idea who they were. And here we are 7 years later, still making money on that party from 7 years ago, because there's still customers ordering 7 years later, and there's still a distributor in my business from that party 7 years later. That's residual income.
Dang. That was good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm just gonna add on to like what you said right there. You know, you guys, people, if you're new in this business, people get so tripped up that it's hard at the beginning, right? But here's the thing. You are willing to work for 40 years at a place, right? Am I right? Where you're not making residual income, yet you are paying residual money to get there. You pay gas in your car every single time, but you want to get a paycheck for 8 hours. You're working 8 hours one time, and then you want to make another 8 hours. You got to work another 8 hours. That's how it works. So you're flipping the switch around when you do this business. But just that example, like, who got chills from that? Like, 7 years later, she's still making the same money from the same work she did. Now, one more thing I want to branch off from that. You're saying that, you know, in order to get the fire, or to get the prize, like, you got to start the fire. Yeah. You've got to deliver the content for the people to want to be part of your fire. Can you speak on how important it is to be consistent with what you're delivering, instead of working based on our emotions, where when it's good, we're working, but when we're frustrated or I can see Kayla in the corner like, yeah, speak on it, where it's like down or low, like when we're feeling low or discouraged or people quit, why is it still important to give that content then?
So this is kind of, I feel like you guys, maybe God gave me a brain and no friends. Okay. like I literally cannot depend on anybody. And maybe that's because I grew up in the ghetto and I had to hustle at 14. Like I knew growing up, it was in like my blood that you wanted something, you work, period, the end. You need 10 cents, you better go return a pop can. Like, that was how my dad raised me. There was 9 of us and my parents couldn't afford anything. And so I grew up with this mindset of like, if it is to be, it's up to me and my committed action. That was literally, and still to this day, like, it's my action, it's my commitment. If somebody else wants to come with me, great. But if somebody gives it to me, they can take it from me. If somebody gives me permission, that means when they don't give me permission, I'm okay to stop and give up. No, ma'am. Okay. So in this mindset, in this business, you guys are going to have people that are high and you're going to have times that are low. It's just, how long do you want to stay here? Not very long, right? Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move on, let it go. You guys, I've had so many people leave my business. They didn't leave my business. They left themselves. They left their legacy, right? And I often wonder, what if I wouldn't have made that phone call as a Ruby in that low moment? What if I wouldn't have made that phone call? And what if I would have just quit? Of the hundreds of thousands of lives that have been impacted, affected, that I had no idea as a Ruby would ever see the light of day. And look now. Hundreds of thousands. And all I was mad about was my $300, right? And so you can only see what is happening or lack of right now, because maybe you're in a low, but I promise that the compound effect, it's a really good book. You will see that it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds, and then it will quadruple in size, sometimes overnight. Sometimes in 1 month, your business could go from diamond to ambassador. When you work and you keep working and you keep working. But what happens is we work and we work and we work and we work and we don't reward ourselves, and then we're burnt out, and you're this close to diamond. You're this close to triple, but you put on the brakes. And you're like, well, she quit. Or this person told me no. Or this customer hasn't lost any weight. Or whatever it is, okay? In those moments, I recognize now, I'm like, it's called resistance. I see you and I'm moving through you. Like, we're all going to have that resistance. And so again, you may not be able to know or say like, what's going on right now? Why am I stagnant? Why am I here? What am I not doing? And we're so quick to be like, she's not here and she's not there. And no, this is about you. This is about your team. This is about you. Okay. So making sure that I personally have to grow my mind every day. I have to understand that this is my business and that people are going to come and go. Some will, some won't. So what next? Like, you have to push through these low times. And because I'm excited about my business and nobody controls my excitement, therefore they can't control it negatively either. I don't give them that power. And I'm telling you that I know over 7 years, I've done more study. I've done more hours. I could outsell, outlead, outhustle 90% of the average salesman. And I know for a fact that I have harder grit than most of them. But it's because I've done the work. Does it mean that I have bad days? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Does it mean that there's days I'm like, I freaking suck? I'm the worst. Yes, I still have those days. But now it's like, I get an hour, I get 10 minutes, I get 2 seconds. And I have lives to change. So again, knowing that my excitement depends on me, then why would I let somebody take it from me? Don't do it. You have to bring that fire every single day. And so again, if it is to be, it's up to you and your committed action, right? I have to plug in my computer.
Dang, that was really good. And something that you said there that really should fire all of you up, no matter what point you are in your business. Hustle outbeats talent every single time. Do you guys ever sign someone from Instagram? You're like, oh, she's gonna be so good. Like, she's like so, like she has like the best potential. Like you just, no, hustle will outbeat everything. Some of the top leaders on our team didn't even know how to like delete a friend from Facebook. Who am I talking to there? I don't know. Krista, she just went left. But one of the best people, she does so much, right? So the willingness to just hustle is just, oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. So my next question is, if you're at, I'm just trying to group these together as we go through. So if you're at a point in your business where, you truly feel like you're doing every single thing that you're taught to do, but you feel that there's something that's with like, holding you in this glass ceiling, like what's your advice to break through that and truly get to the next level?
We will all hit that ceiling. Okay. Some of us have, how do I say this? Well, okay. Hardest part about leadership, you guys, is what I want to say and what I have to say. So I'm going to try and put this in the nicest way possible. Some people have paid the price for years before, and they come in and they go presidential in a blink of an eye. Okay. Meaning maybe they had a market before, maybe they owned a boutique before, maybe they were big into couponing before and they've got 10,000 followers, but that took them 4 or 5 years previously before getting into this business. Right. And then there's some of us that I'm like, the only thing I knew how to do was be nice. Okay. Like I didn't have sales experience. How do I take a picture? I don't know. I had an SD card camera. Like, you want a filter? What's that? Like, that was me. I had to learn all the systems, the sales, the marketing. Like, I had to learn that. I knew leadership. I knew management from retail sales since I was 14 years old, flipping a salon, right out of hair school. I knew how to manage. I know how to get crap done. I almost said a bad word. I know how to get crap done. Okay. But I didn't know systems, sales, marketing. I didn't know how to close. I was like, oh, when they're like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. I'll take it. I'm like, cool. I didn't know how to like finish the sale. Right. So I had to study systems, sales, marketing. And so I want you to take all of the things that we need to do as a business owner and then check off the ones that you know how to do. Okay. Do you know how to have patience, or is that something you need to study? Do you know how to be committed, or is that something you need to work on? Do you know how to be confident, or is that something you need to work on? Do you know systems, sales, marketing, or is that something you need to work on? Okay. And so for me, when I came in here, I had to study system, sales, and marketing. It wasn't studying and then decided to work my business. I was working my business and like, oh crap, that was a horrible picture. Like, oh, that wasn't great. Oh crap, I missed that one. Like it was learn and like fall right at the same time. Okay. And so what is that area that you're in right now? If you're hitting that block that you're not getting past. Okay. So remember how I said I was triple diamond in 8 months and I was like, this is great. I got that money, you guys, and I kid you not, super transparent. I was like, cash out. This is like drug dealing money from my good old days. Cash out. Hurry up. Like this is like someone will take this from me. Like that's literally what I thought, which meant I wasn't going to have it again. And so I had to quickly learn a money mindset shift. Okay. And then I had to learn that it's not greedy to want more. It's actually God's will to live an abundant life. And I had to shift that. And so I had to go study and make sure that my mind was being poured into with good things. Okay. And then you hit ambassador and you're like, oh, by the way, open up a 2.0 account, do it again. And I was like, oh boy, I'm tired. I can't do it again. And so then I had to study, how can I do this again? Simpler, easier, more effective, faster, stronger, better, all the above, right? And so right now, if I'm to be super transparent, what I'm studying is how on earth, like what my purpose is. Like God called me for something so crazy, you guys. And I know in the depths of my soul that I'm not done. I'm just getting started. And it's insane for me to wrap my little old brain around this big picture of where I'm going when I don't even know if that's the ocean, the mountaintop, like where I don't even know. And maybe that's the greatest part. Maybe that's your hardest struggle right now is you're like, I actually don't know where I'm going. Besides in my home right here. I don't know I can't even imagine being able to have the freedom to choose what state I'm in this month. I don't even understand the freedom to be like, oh, I want to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks and pay cash for everything. I don't even know what that would feel like. So it's dreaming bigger and understanding that it's okay. And I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not bad, sick, and wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. And so that's where I'm at right now is I'm called to do something, and am I capable? Right? And so right now I am studying my faith with the Lord is growing, and my finances. And I really want to challenge those two to go together, not my finances grow without my faith and not my faith grow without my finances. And I know as they grow together, that's where I'm at. So again, right, all the things that we need to do, see, think, be, have, and which one are you lacking? Which one out of a scale from 1 to 10? If I were to say leadership on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you at in leadership? Drop it in the chat. On a scale from 1 to 10. As a leader, what are you at right now? There's someone unmuted, Jackie. So again, looking at this number, none of you are a 10, which is great. But let's work up to a 9.5 and leave that extra 5% for always growing in a leadership. And so every day you should spend less time after your power hour. Okay. Do your power hour, make your daily 6 list, make your post, do your message, do your follow-ups, your stories, all that jazz. Majority of your time should be studying leadership. How do you be a better leader? How do you be a leader to reds? How do you be a leader to yellows? How do you be a leader to the ones who have zero confidence? How do you lead someone who is overly confident, right? Like, how do you lead? And there's books, there's Audible books, it's Google, okay? Like, it's free. Like, there's nothing that you can't have. It's that you haven't done the research yet, okay? And so then on a scale from 1 to 10, as far as hustle goes, like, you'll put in the grit, you'll lose the sleep. You'll go to them. If somebody says, listen, I need you in Idaho tomorrow at 5 p.m. Are you willing to adapt and say, I'm in, I'll handle my schedule. I'm looking for possibilities. I am open to solutions versus problems. I know how to pivot. On a scale from 1 to 10, is that something you need to do? Right? Or are you like, dude, my marketing sucks. Like, I really need to study like how to take a better picture. I really need to study how to make my Instagram look a little bit cleaner, nicer, more professional, then study that. Okay, so you guys get what I'm saying? So again, fill in the piece. Like, I'm good here. I know sales. I know marketing. Man, it's my confidence actually. Okay, then spend more time in confidence growth than scrolling on social media. That's not going to make you feel confident. Make sense?
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I think something like, again, just to like reiterate, like just to really take from this is wherever you feel you're lacking, like you do have the resources to go fix that. And like, if you don't have an upline, like, you know, I know for both of us, we don't have an upline, right? Is that right? You don't have an upline?
Nope.
Right. So like, you know, really just like take extreme ownership of that. And even breaking it down to like, you know, if you don't know how to write a story or do a story, don't let that stop you from doing stories, because obviously if you're plugging into these Zooms and you're listening to top leaders and that's something that big that's bringing in volume from people, like it is your duty and obligation as somebody that wants success from this business to go figure it out and just have that mindset. You don't know, you go learn it, and you'll always be learning. Amber has never hasn't arrived. I haven't arrived. Stephanie and Joel Dunn, there's a reason they still like win everything. Like they're still doing it. So like embrace that hustle. Okay, another question that we have, these are just kind of random questions now. Is that good?
No, whatever. Yeah, go for it. Of course.
Okay, so this is a good one. I know that this is something that you're strong at. So interacting in person, like getting off, like the question was, when we're off social media and we see somebody in person, how do we approach them without sounding like a crazy stalker?
So you guys, I feel like it's 2019, it's almost 2020, and people want friends.
Mm-hmm.
They want a genuine connection. The new up and rising, you know, kids in high school, they ache for a actual connection. You know, I actually heard it in Georgia. There was a group of people who went and got it was like this massive movement in Georgia or something, I think Florida or something. And they went and they all bought flip phones. This was recently, because they were so sick of just hanging out with their girlfriends and everyone being on their phone. And they were like, we want actual connections. And that'll never go away, you guys. Instagram could go away tomorrow. Facebook could go away. Zoom could go away tomorrow. And how are you going to make that connection? Okay. And for me, eye contact is your contract. And so if I walk up to somebody and I'm more conscious, I'm learning to put my phone away when you're grocery shopping. Your phone should be away when your kids are at the park. Like, take a picture, put it away, right? Like, get your gram ready, put it away. But when you're out and about, and the rule is that I kind of think is anytime I exchange something, I should be giving something. Okay. Now I have an opportunity I can give to anyone and everyone that breathes, sleeps, talks, whatever, right? Anyone that works a job, I have an opportunity for them. And I'd be taking if I didn't offer. Okay? Like, that's rude. I know what this business has done for me. How dare I not give it to every single person that I come in contact with? And so something for me is, again, not like, hey, Christy, oh my gosh, like she's your waitress. And you're like, Christy, wow, you are just awesome. Like, I have a business opportunity and I think you'll do so good. Like, can I give you this business card? Yes, that's great, but not really. Okay. So a better way is, again, making those connections. I use Instagram and Facebook as my resume, as my portfolio, as my proof of insurance, right? Like, as my proof that I'm legit, as the proof that, like, I'm the best leader. I'm the best mom that I can be right now. I'm always growing. And so, but it holds me accountable to make sure that I'm making sure my Instagram and my Facebook are current, that I'm serious about this, that I post, that I do my work on there. And so that way I can go up to Chrissy and I can say, let's say she's my waiter. And I'm like, is this your only job? And stare them dead in the eye, you guys, which if you are conscious and aware, you will notice that more and more people are not looking, I was going to say less than, are not looking at you in the eye. Your cashiers are going on cruise control. The people that are taking your orders, can I take your order? And is that it? Like, they're miserable. Why? Right? More and more people are giving less and less eye contact. And so if you are out and about and you just give a genuine compliment, and I'm going to say, Christy, my coffee is so good. You did awesome. Is this your only job? Yeah, how long have you been working here? Your customer service was awesome. I need you to work with me. Can I add you on Instagram? Can I add you on Facebook and I can send you a little chat? What are they going to say? No? Like, it's 1 in 100 that'll be like, I don't know. You don't trust you. Like, you guys legit, like, it doesn't happen. But if you don't ask, it's for sure not going to happen, right? So making sure that you just ask. But again, if your Instagram, you haven't posted in a week, they're not going to take you seriously. If you don't have any stories up in the last 24 hours, they're not going to take you seriously. They're going to go find someone else who is more serious about their business than you, and they will go sign up with them. I promise. It's happened to me on the days that I missed the opportunity. Someone else was ready and I wasn't ready. I wasn't there for them. So again, making sure that you just give them a genuine compliment, offer, say like, I have a really great opportunity for you and I think you would do amazing. I was at Kane Brown and oh my gosh, Jason Aldean concert. And I saw this lady literally up and down stairs with 24 big, anyone ever go to a concert and the beers are like this big in the cans? They're heavy, man. She had 224 cases up and down these stairs, up and down these stairs. And I looked at her and I said, if you can hustle this, you can hustle with me. What's your name? What's your name? What's your tab? Where's your girl? Okay. But you guys maybe don't know country. But I was like, dude, like that is like you can hustle beer cans for, I bet she made like $7 an hour. I was like, you need to hustle with me. She was like, okay. I'm like, hell yeah. Right? Like, yeah, that's the kind of people you want. But if you're unconscious and you're teed up on your phone, you're not going to see those opportunities, right? So make the connection when you're out and about. But get out and about. Duh. Right?
Duh.
Duh.
One thing I want to add to this, you guys, because I know probably a lot of you are sitting here thinking like, yeah, that's great, but that freaks me out. And like, I don't want to do that. So I'll tell you, Amber made us do this at our diamond retreat. And I was freaking out being like, this is out of my comfort zone, right? And it may not be this, it's out of your comfort zone. But the point is something in this business that's going to bring you results is going to make you step out of your comfort zone. So my mindset was, okay, somebody that is, you know, where I want to be is telling me to do this, telling me I got results. I'm just going to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I watched Amber do it. And you guys, I'm telling you, our whole team did this there. And we all got leads. Like everybody that did it got leads. And just like doing a live video, you do the first one and you're like, ha, like it's kind of like nerve wracking, but you do it again and again and again and you get better. And you guys, we literally watched Amber go in a chocolate store, you know, do what she, like literally the wording that she's telling you is the exact same wording she showed us. Got her on Instagram, brought her to a wrap party that we set up that day. She was the only person that came to the wrap party. She signed her, like she enrolled her. And my thought process leaving, for those of you guys that are like, you know, really looking for another way to bring people into this and like, you know, bring people on your team is like, that all of a sudden took away so much time. Think about on Instagram, if you reach out to someone, people spend a lot of time looking at you, just wondering if you're even legit. This girl had no question if Amber was legit because Amber was right in front of her. And then it made you realize like, okay, now I do got to go back. I do got to have my stories up because she gets like, they're going to check you out. And that should be your mindset always. So that really just brings the importance back to even if you miss a day, and you don't think about it because you didn't just blitz someone who you think is going to go right to your page, you have people looking at you. Are you ready for dinner, Mom? No, babe, I'll be a few minutes. That was so cute. You know, there's people that are looking at you that you need to have that up on your page. You need to have those stories. You need to have your content because people are always looking. So it just really made me realize the importance. Okay. Marisa's question was, when you are going hard in capitals, hard with for a promotion, how do you balance work and home life? Normally I'm so good at this, but I'm always learning and opening new tricks and advice and tips for myself and my tribe.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that. One more thing, you guys. The work that all these girls did in the cabin, like at the retreat, those seeds might plant in 2 years, which means you're going to, at that point, get paid again, that residual income for the work you did 2 years ago, right? Like, I signed up Solana in Canada, from Canada, the day I met her, right? The very next day. And I don't even have a clue yet what that's going to transform into. Like, you don't even know. You can't even wrap your head around it. This happened. I was in St. Louis back in May. And this is a true story. Okay. In May, I was finishing up a corporate event. I got in the elevator and I saw this girl, and you guys, she was gorgeous. She was beautiful. She was checking into the hotel, and I was like, wow, she's pretty. Like, AKA the voice said, you better freaking go talk to her, which is my way of saying, wow, she's pretty, right? And I went in the elevator, and I literally was like, hang on, I got to go talk to her. And I looked at Josh like deer in headlights. I was like, I'm scared. What if she, like, there's people around her. She's checking into the hotel. That's awkward. Am I going to wait until she's finished? Like, it was literally like a 25-minute conversation in 2.5 seconds. And I went up to her and I was like, okay, I don't know what you're doing here. If you live here, where you live, you're beautiful. I've got to run, but can I add you on Instagram and we chat? And she was like, yeah, I guess. Guys, she's in the military. She was traveling for work. She is beautiful. Okay. This was in May. I've had conversations from her. We've replied to stories back and forth. Okay. July, it's 50% off. No response. July 25th. I'm probably super late on this deal, but I'm finally ready to try it out. Let's do it. Was her response. Okay. And I was like, it's $99 now. Sorry. So anyways, she sends me all this information and I was like, I'll text you. My bad. Because she never responded again. And I'm like, it's cool. I have zero strings attached. Okay. Like, I know one day when it's her time. And so I'm not getting defeated that she hasn't messaged me back. But you guys, May to August, we're almost in September. But what if not every day you're planting those seeds, you're not going to have any harvest in September? And not looking, I'm like, I'd rather take her in September. I'll take her in December when she's ready. Like, I'll take her on her time. Okay. So again, it's just get out there and talk to those people, because I don't know her. She has a whole market that I think she lives in Tennessee. Like, I don't know her, but if I wouldn't have said something to her, we wouldn't be having this conversation, right? Like, you get it. Okay. Back to the questions. Anyways, I have way more than just that one. Like, I have hundreds of these. And where people are just like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Like, cool. You're sweet. Like, all right, cool. Me too. Okay. So, Marie, let's go back. When you're going hard for promotion, how do you balance work and home life? Normally, I'm so good at this, but I'm always learning and opening new tricks. Okay. Here is the deal. All right. You guys ready for the deal? When you're going for a promotion, it's your discipline or lack of that makes it a struggle to be mom or wife or friend or whatever, and totally just engross yourself in this business. And I'll tell you that you will not go for that promotion. That promotion will not happen when you are completely 26 hours out of the day engrossed in your business. It won't. I promise you, I promise everything I have, it won't happen. Promise. Because at some point, you're going to be like, I'm guilty. I haven't been mom. I haven't been wife. I haven't cooked dinner all week. I haven't done the laundry. You guys, all that affects your business too. And so this like pisses me off when people say like, I don't have time to go to the gym. Really? I don't have time not to go to the gym. Okay. I don't have time not to put my phone away for an hour and do date night. Like, at what cost are you willing? And it's so crazy. This morning, the sermon at church was talking about a day of rest. And that it's not something you need as far as permission. Like, it's not earned, it's given. And you need 24 hours of rest sometime during the week. Now, for me as a business owner, I know that I'm not going to get like I fall asleep on Saturday and I'm going to like have this big 24 hours of Sunday, no phone, no nothing. Like, cool. I can just like not answer anybody and no. But could I take like a 5 p.m. till 5 p.m.? Yeah. Could I take a 9 a.m. to 9 a.m.? Yeah. but I'm going to do what's going to be smart for me. And I'll usually do like 7 to 7 or 3 to 3 or 12 to 12, right? Like noon to noon. I'll work rampant sun up 6 a.m. till noon, and then I'll take noon till noon the next day. And it's not that I'm not working, but it's that I'm doing the other things that bring me joy. I'm going to go on a hike. I'm going to spend time with my kids. I'm going to create content. I'm going to go live my life, and I'm going to be happier, better, more productive when you take those times to pause. Because I'll tell you this, I'm not going to get any more work done being frustrated at 1 o'clock in the morning on my computer, hoping and praying someone's there to answer my host a post. Okay? Like, I need to be mentally, physically, emotionally, all the above ready for a promotion. And I'll tell you, the minute that you are disciplined in your time, and if you are if you're married, drop a 1 in the chat. If you've got a significant other, drop a 1 in the chat. If you have somebody you're dating that's important to you, drop a 1 in the chat. If you don't, you better go on dates with yourself. Okay, but date night should be non-negotiable for you guys. And it's scheduled in my calendar. If I want to go to coffee with my girlfriends, it's in my calendar. If it's important to you, it's on your calendar. If it's not important to you, it won't be on the calendar. And this will help you, okay, put those scheduled times in for your business, for your body, for your being, for your balance and relationships. But there's nothing that spending more time on social media isn't necessarily the answer. Spending more time with my husband isn't necessarily the answer, but you can have it all when you're disciplined in the time that you do have with your husband, when you're disciplined in the time that you do have with your kids, when you're disciplined in waking up earlier and losing an hour of sleep to say yes to an opportunity early in the morning, or staying up an hour later. Pick and choose your battles, right? So as far as going for a promotion, you got to find it. It's got to be on the calendar, and you've got to be disciplined in your time. When somebody says, my husband's mad that I'm on my phone all the time, that's a discipline issue. You should not be on your phone all the time, and you're not producing results. Like, that's the definition of insanity, right? So how can I be on social media and get off social media when I'm with my husband or my kids? Okay. Phone shouldn't be at the dinner table. Maybe for you, you're like, no, dinner table's when my phone is. Okay. But in the bedroom, like, you've got to find the structure and the discipline to say no when other people are not willing to say no. Right? Sorry, I got a little passionate right there. My bad.
We just got a reality punch in the face.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Hopefully.
It's true though. Like, it's so true.
And you guys, it's like my biggest months are when I wake up easily. I do my list. It's so effortlessly. I go to the gym, or I go tanning, or I lay out at my pool for an hour listening to an audiobook, still working, but I'm taking care of my body and my mind, right? It's the months when I'm like, you know what? My daughter's home and she has gymnastics for an hour. I'm going to go be present at gymnastics. But it's like a privilege. I have to reward myself. I don't get to go be present with my daughter if I haven't done the work in the morning, right? Or I don't get to it's like when I first started, I was like, if I don't enroll 3 people, I don't drive my car. Like, it was that disciplined. And it was because my fast starts paid my car payment. I didn't have another chicken exit. It was either you signed up 3 people or you don't drive your car. The end, period. So what is that? Do and reward, do and reward, do and reward. Okay, babe, I'm going to go on date night with you tonight as long as I can get 6 host posts up. Then you're focused. Then you're like, cool, I know my target. I'm going to go get it. But what happens a lot of times is we're just like, I'm just going to shoot and hope I hit, and it doesn't work, guys. Like, it doesn't work. You have to have a do and a reward. When you go diamond, what are you going to get? When you go triple, what are you going to get? What are you going to do? When you get a fast start, like, my husband wanted to redo our basement, and I was like, hey, help me bring in 10 distributors. $1,000 can be yours to do the basement. But if you don't get $1,000, if you don't help me get 10 distributors, buddy, like, hello, like, what's the do and the reward, right? And that's with everything, the simplest things to the biggest things. You got to reward yourself in this business, even as a Ruby. Okay?
That's really great advice. That's
Amber,
such good advice.
girl. Oh, I see you.
Okay, so can you quickly speak? One of the biggest questions we had, I can't even read my writing. One of the biggest questions we had was, what are you doing for personal development? And I know you shared that list with us, but maybe if you could talk on like 5 just really different, books that would, no, okay. She's got it.
I got it, guys. Okay, so this is something, again, at what cost are you not investing in Audible every single month? It's $15 and you get a new book. Okay. And for me, I was like, I can't afford $15. And I was like, at what cost? The cost of millions. And so where can I, what I call trim the fat? Okay, where can I trim the fat in my daily spending so I can afford Audible? Okay, you guys, 2 days of Starbucks, I stopped going. Like, it's just 2 days. Or I sold 1 wrap, that paid for my Audible. Now, again, it's like if I have that target, I'm going to do it because I really want Audible. But it's got to be something you want or you desire, or it's not going to happen, right? You can be like, yeah, that'd be nice, but like, I don't really care about it. So it's not important to me, which means I'm not going to do it, okay? So for 7 years, I have listened to Audible, okay? Actually, my first year, I had bought CDs at Barnes & Noble for $5. That's all I could afford was CDs, okay? Some of my first ones were Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino, greatest salesman in the world, one of my all-time favorite Og Mandino. Dude, you guys legit, okay? So you can see for 7 years, I just have books and books, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And it's because I don't want to pay college tuition to go get a sales degree. I can pay $15 a month. I don't know about you. Would you rather listen to books by the pool or in a classroom? For me, I'm like, I'm gonna learn right here. Okay. So, I have so many. Miracle Morning is really good if you're not a morning person. Check. That was me. Now I'm like, it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, we gotta go. We got life to, like, I'm chasing daylight. Okay. At this point. Tribes by Seth Godin is really good. The subtitle is We Need You to Lead Us. Anything by John Maxwell. Okay. Developing the Leader Within You. This 7 layers of leadership. There's so many. Okay. Give and Take by Adam Grant. Again, the giving, the taking, like I was talking about earlier. Sales EQ. That one's a really good one. And then you guys, I have personal in here too. So every single day it is my job, duty, and obligation to do a personal and professional on Audible. Okay. Now, sometimes that personal is me listening to worship music and just listening for that song that just like fuels me up. That's like, I'm freaking unstoppable. Ain't nobody can touch me. Like, the end, period. I got it. Like, I'm lit. Let's go. Right. And then other days I'm like, I need a really good book. Okay. So 7 Mile Miracle by any of Stephen Furtick's books are awesome. Unqualified, Crash the Chatterbox, so good. No, I don't know. That one's good. Oh, that's fine. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, awesome book. Again, like, what if I want to be a millionaire, let me study the secrets to a millionaire mindset. Okay. Daring Greatly. Another good one is, this is good. This one's a good one. This one's kind of a quick read. It's called My Business Ate My Life. And I think for us, we need to turn that title around and say, My Life Ate My Business. Okay. And it's a recovery plan to like get everything in order and find that discipline. So that one's really good. Mel Robbins, if you guys don't follow her, haven't listened to her 5-second rule, that one's phenomenal. She also has another one called Kick Ass with Mel Robbins. Sorry about the language, but that's just kind of the way that it goes. She also has 31 days of email subscriptions that are free. So again, if you're like, okay, I can't start with Audible right now, search Mel Robbins 31 days email. You'll be able to plug in, and every morning she'll send you a new email with like a tool that's really cool for business. Oh my, you guys, like so many. Obviously, Rachel Hollis, she's awesome. Relentless This one was a hard one, but it was a good one. It's called From Good to Great to Unstoppable. And I was like, I want to be unstoppable. So that one's good. Also on Audible, you guys, Harvard Business Review has free books. So you can literally it's basically like anything from Harvard Business School you can learn. So I kind of went to Harvard, not really. The Top 1%, Habits, Attitudes, and Strategies, I think. Ooh, Erwin McManus. Erwin McManus, I saw him at GLS, which is the Global Leadership Summit. He's coming. I saw him at the retreat at this summit. And anyways, I've been to his church 3 times. He's literally changed my life. If you want to talk about the greatest mentor, Erwin McManus. He is phenomenal. He's got a couple books. The Power of Consistency, Leaders Eat Last, 3 Feet from Gold, Killing Kryptonite, The One Thing. Oh, this one was good for those of you who really struggle with loving people, even the ones that have hurt you. This one is called Everybody Always. I was like, I'm not too excited about this because I don't want to love everyone always. It was really good. E squared and E cubed, if you're into that really cool mindset stuff and you're like, no, I really know I can think like a freak, right? E squared and E cubed. Write it down, make it happen. Crash the Chatterbox, probably one of my all-time favorite books. I think I've listened to it 7 times. Extreme Ownership. This one was long, you guys. It was long, but it was so good. Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. She's awesome. One I just recently read was called Happy Money, and that one was really good as far as letting go of the control of your money. The Alter Ego, The Purpose-Driven Life. If you struggle with the subtitle is What on Earth Am I Here For? So if you wonder why am I here? That one's a really good one. The one I'm listening to, I have 16 minutes left, is The Anomaly Mindset. Y'all, it's that one's good. That one's real good. But again, it's just deciding okay, this is where I'm at. This is the missing part, and this is what I'm gonna study. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people ask me how do you listen to that many books? You guys, you listen to it basically anytime you're listening to nothing. Okay? So my kids are watching a movie and you're sitting there scrolling, you should have an earbud in and be listening to something. I'm getting ready in my bathroom, press play. My Bluetooth is linked up to my car. Anytime I get in, it's press play. I call it white noise when there's no noise, because I have eye gates, mouth gates, and ear gates. And if they're open and I'm not listening to something good personally or professionally, that allows the devil to come in and tell me something negatively. And I'm not okay with that. And so I literally, anytime from the waking moment I wake up to you're doing dishes to you're playing with your kids outside, and your mind will pick up what it needs to. So a lot of people say I just can't do that. I need an hour I want to read a book. I want to write it down. Okay, I'm that you're going to have to delete that. If you want to go to the next level, stop trying to figure out it your way and make it fold into your way. Right? So it's very rare that I have a book, but usually my rule is if my phone's dead, then I'll open a book. I'm okay to sit by the pool for an hour and read a book, for goodness sakes, or first thing in the morning while I drink my coffee, I'm reading a book. That's still growth. Okay? So again, it's not that your mind will hear what it needs to hear. So somebody asked, when you're listening to audibles, do you take notes or journal? Yes and no. I feel like if they hit me, I'm going to remember without a note. Okay. You're going to know those things. I still quote Zig Ziglar, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always have more than enough of what you want. I learned that as a distributor on a CD, and I will never forget those, those ones that just gut punch you, you're going to remember. Okay. And then the Anomaly Mindset, there was a part in there and I made a post about it. And so I'll go into my notes and I'll press pause and I'll write those notes up. But it's very rare. I don't need to take notes for what? I'm going to listen to the book again, essentially. Right. So, and that's, I feel like if we have one more list to do during it, it stops us from actually completing it. right? Like, it's like we say, oh, I got to be ready to go live. Well, then you're never going to go live because we're not going to be ready that day, right? Or, oh, once I'm skinny, I'll make a before picture. No, come on, you're never going to get there. You got to go do the work before, right? That's a good question.
Kayla's comment. Okay, that's okay. We got time for two more questions. Okay, so for someone that I guess the case, you're following up with someone, you talk to somebody that's interested, they ghost you. How are you handling that?
I, again, remember how I said I really just have this like weird mind. You guys, I have zero expectations. Zero. How many of you guys would agree that you're like, my expectations are here. If somebody says they're going to do something, they're going to do it. They're going to do it 110%. It's black or it's white. You either do or you don't. Like, how many of you are there? You're like, my expectations, like my team, they say they're going to do this. They bought their kit. Like, they should be ambassador tomorrow. Like, are you that person? Okay. For me, I'm like, talk is cheap, man. Like, I always follow up with like, we'll see. Like, I have zero emotion attached. Therefore, I'm never let down. Because if I have this expectation here, I'm going to be disappointed real quick. And who likes being disappointed, right? Who likes living in that negative mindset of being like, hush, dang it, like, she lied to me. She's just going to be Ruby tomorrow, and she's not. Like, right? Wah, don't care. Like, so if people, like that girl from the elevator, like, she ghosted me. I just like respond. Great story. Still here, right? Like, I don't have any expectation. She's going to join when she's ready, right? And so as far as potentials go, you guys, be more consistent, okay? And so a lot of times too, with what potentials are saying, or they, like, they're like, oh, I don't have $99. That's my next post within the next 3 days. Okay, I'm not going to make it too obvious, but I'm going to answer your objection in my post, right? Or as far as team goes, I still send them the text. Like, oh, you saw the last 7 and you didn't respond. Here's an 8th one. Enjoy. Like, I'm not gonna cut them off until they're canceled. And even then, I was sending a text message to a girl whose account canceled last, like, 6 months ago. Well, she'll join again soon. Right? Like, that's my mindset. It's like, it doesn't hurt to stay consistent, but I also am not counting my chickens before they hatch. I could easily have said, oh, I have a distributor today. No, I didn't. She didn't have an ID number. I don't have a distributor. And how many of us do that? Right? We're like, I have a distributor on Friday. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because what in our mindset, what that does is it literally stops us from recruiting. It stops us from going and finding more. Like, and I'm telling, it'll happen. And I'm like, dang it, why did I do that? I said I wasn't going to do that. And I just did it again. Dang it. And I literally stopped in my tracks and they didn't sign up. So therefore I didn't have a distributor on Friday. And if I was upset at the amount of people that literally, I'm like, oh, she said she was going to sign up and she never did 6 months ago. Like, I would still be hanging out at distributor 6 months ago. But I do not count my chickens before they hatch. Mm-mm. You tell me Thursday, cool, we'll see. You tell me next Friday, cool, we'll see. Until then, you're not one, and I got to go and do the work. If you do, great. Oh my gosh, I'll be surprised on Friday, and that'll be awesome, and I'll have an extra one. But you got to live in that mindset of like, I have zero expectations, which is why you can't really disappoint me. Because you can shock me and surprise me, but I don't have any expectations.
That was pretty good.
Right?
And I think, like, translate into what she's saying as she really, really has an abundance mindset. And after spending a couple days with her, it's not just with what she's telling you. Like, literally, that's her business. She has an abundance mindset. And so I want you guys to ask yourself, do you have an abundance mindset with your business? Or are you having like a scarcity mindset? Because whatever you have, you're going to bring more of that in. So if you're sitting there saying, oh my gosh, nobody wants this. I can't do it. I got one, but they quit. Like, dude, my first 6 distributors quit. Like, there are 7 billion people in the world. Literally. Okay, so my last, we're coming up, we're just past an hour. Sorry, guys. I try to keep these.
You're fine. You're good. I mean, I'll say, I love hanging out with you guys.
It's fun. This is pretty fun. Okay. I just want to know, like, if just I'm just going to kind of leave the mic to you here, but just to speak really life over this team. And I know we got some sidelines on, you know, I know we got a lot of people that are, you know, just really close to their next promotion. You know, they're just feeling at a point where they just are like doing what they can to get to that next level, and they're all capable, they're all ready. But if you could just take a few minutes and speak life over them, and just really what you would say to yourself, maybe in that position, you know, a couple years ago, I'm just going to let you do your thing. You're good at this.
I got it. So you guys, I need to share, and this is not new information to you, but maybe you forgot that abundance is your birthright. Like, you were born for abundance, not lack of. And for me, I was like, yeah, but I grew up in Flint, Michigan. Yeah, but I'm not supposed to be here. Like, we all have that. There's nothing different between what happened to me when I was a kid to what happens to you, what's going to happen to your kids. Like, all of the things, the only thing that my job is to do is to move. I can go and I can go and I can go. It is not my job to stop. It is not my job to look back and see who was judged, crucified, and convicted. Okay? Like, that is not my job. My job is to look forward. My job is to live abundantly. My job is to do the freaking work, not depend on someone else to do it for me. And when you get into this mindset of like, this business is actually my business. It's not my downline's business. It's not my upline's business. It's mine. You guys, that feeling is so unreal that it's like, this is mine. I've worked every hour for every penny that's deposited into my account that gives me the freedom to choose, which is what I've ultimately wanted. Because we just want the choice, right? We just want the choice to choose when, where, who, what, why, and so on. I can go and live my abundance life. And it's to whatever degree you guys are willing to grow is where your paycheck will grow. And so if your paycheck isn't growing, where are you not growing? Right? And who do you have to conform into? And one of the greatest blessings, you guys, is who I've had to become. I'm so glad I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago, let alone 13 years ago or 20 years ago. I'm so glad I decided to grow, and not only grow personally, but professionally. It is my job to live in abundance. Like, that, we were born into that, you guys. Like, he already gave that to us. And so God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. You guys are called. You were called for this. And whether or not you run with it, that's your decision. But I'm saving nothing for the next life. And I don't recommend you do either. Because we only have this life. And you have no idea on what account it will end. And if I'll be darned if I go and I meet him and he says, you did all right. You did all right. I'm not done. And neither are you. We have a calling that needs to be fulfilled. Go out and be the best version of you that you know you can be, and always grow.
That was really good.
I love you guys.
Can you guys share in the chats the biggest thing that you took away from this? I think I got something in both my eyes again.
Darn it. Dude, Jackie, did you start that book that I told you about, The Last Arrow? Jen Rupp knows.
I'm reading The Anomaly, or I'm listening to The Anomaly.
So good.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
took some good notes from these books tonight.
Yeah. And you guys, think about this too, is like the average CEO listens to 2 books a month, but the average CEO is actually broke. So I want to be the CEO of my business, which is why I choose 4 a month. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. Amber, thank you for your time. We appreciate you so much. And I know, you've just done some crazy stuff for our team. So we love you and we really appreciate you.
Of course, dude. You guys, and again, this is great when we get off the Zoom, but go put it into action. Go be loud about the next person that you talk to. Be loud about the next book you're reading. Share that with me. Tag me on social media. You know, and tune in tomorrow on my Facebook Live. I'm going to be hosting Pam Souders' Show Me the Money Call. I'm really excited. And it'll be on my personal Facebook in 18 years, you guys. She's asked me to host it. So really nervous. If you guys could pray for me, that would be awesome. But this is just the beginning of a huge movement of taking this company beyond $1 billion. And what an honor it is that you guys get to be a part of that.
So good. All right, you guys, we'll get this up tonight. Thank you guys.
See ya. You're welcome.